Of course, I forgot to say something that could be important in all of this. There was another constable that, despite me telling them not to have a constable come to my house because of previous experience with at least one of them coming to my apartment, um, there was this one that was ringing down my phone like at least 5, 6 times in a row. And it just made me even more paranoid than the actual incident that I was complaining about. Um, the thing that I actually forgot about that I wanted to say, and I remembered that I had to say that too, that what I just said. But anyways, yesterday I tried calling CSU. I might as well say it. I already mentioned that the building that I live in have their own system of community safety. It's called CSU, and I know how I feel about this, but if you're comfortable to share your opinion, go right ahead, please. Um, so I tried calling yesterday, and at first I was calling number one, and you know how they put you on hold till there's somebody available to speak with me. After a few minutes or a couple of minutes or so, I was calling number two. Then I was calling number three. I was probably waiting for like maybe 8 minutes or more. And when I first started calling a few years ago, after being told I should be calling them by management, they were answering right away. It's like they're telling, and I've heard other people say that in the building on my floor that I've spoken with. They have tried to call CSU, and sometimes they feel so judged. And they feel like even though they say we should be calling them, they don't feel comfortable calling them. They've said that they don't feel like they're doing anything regardless of them calling. And that's the same way I feel. They may have talked to the people, they may have reduced the noise, but clearly these people are not moved. These people don't fear the authority that have, spoken with them. So that's a sign that they have serious problems with boundaries. These guys have serious problems with boundaries. And it's like people are not seeing that. This guy above me in particular, I didn't even know. I may have mentioned this before, but I didn't even know that I had. Well, I knew I had somebody above me, but he was so quiet. He was so quiet, I barely heard him. And all of a sudden, like I said, I put the clip in the last video. It might creep you out because it certainly creeped me out. Maybe it might creep you out a little bit more than it creeped me out, but I honestly thought that was, as weird as it sounds, as weird as the sound sounds, I honestly thought it was like some kind of elderly person in pain, not knowing that this guy's probably in his 30s or 20s doing this. Like, I'm just trying to get people to make it make sense. And over the years, the noise has changed. So now it's mostly banging on the floor. Sometimes it sounds like he's pounding or using a rock Sometimes it sounds like little petals being thrown on the floor. Sometimes I literally heard like he's like rubbing his body against the floor or something. For me to be able to hear something like that, yeah. So it's the banging, it's the dragging of furniture. And like I said, at one point it was like constantly throughout the night. Sometimes it was seconds, sometimes it was minutes. Most of the time it was like seconds in between. Sometimes it was a few minutes. And now it still goes on, but it's not as bad. I'm trying my best to be completely transparent and honest about what's going on. I don't know how to do anything other than that. I just don't understand why people want to do what they're doing to me. Because I've never done anything wrong to anybody in here. Never. But as they say, evil will find you. And I believe that more so now than any time, than any other time. No matter who you are, there's going to be some evil that's going to test you, unfortunately.